Do you think you know it all? You're so smart, and the others are just so stupid. It's important to remember that this attitude can be detrimental to your relationships with other people. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's easy to be a teacher? A good teacher has to have a certain set of skills in order to be successful. Patience, kindness, and empathy are just a few qualities that make up a great teacher. Being a teacher is one of the most difficult professions in the world. It takes a special kind of person to want to dedicate their life to shaping young minds. There are bad teachers, and then there are truly evil teachers who take sadistic pleasure in making students' lives miserable. And then there are some good teachers who sometimes might snap. Have you ever seen an evil teacher get their Here's a story about an ordinary teacher who decided to flip everything upside down. When she faced the principal and dropped the truth bomb, our protagonist was a 32-year-old woman who taught at a local high school. She was generally well liked by her colleagues and students. However, one day, while having coffee with her best friend, Sarah discovered that her friend was not happy with her job. She was thinking of quitting, but didn't know what to do. Her friend advised her to talk to the principal, Mrs. Smith, to see if they could come to a compromise. Mrs. Smith was a kind and understanding woman who always tried to help out her staff. When our protagonist first came to the school, she had been mentored by the principal and had always appreciated her guidance. So she decided to go and talk to her. She explained her situation and asked for more support. But the principal told her that there was no money in the budget to hire more teachers. The next day at school, our protagonist began to feel very She went to the staff room to grab some things when she heard two teachers gossiping. They were talking about how much they hated their jobs and how they couldn't wait to retire. Our protagonist felt even worse after hearing them talk. She went home that night feeling upset. The next morning at school, she was exhausted and had no motivation to teach. She was very surprised when one of her students, Peter, approached her after class and asked her if she was okay. He was worried because she had been so quiet and distant during class. Our protagonist lied and said that she was fine. She didn't want to burden him with her problems. She knew that he had enough to deal with without adding to his stress. Peter was not convinced, but he dropped the subject. After school, our protagonist went to the staff room and found the same two teachers from the day before. They were laughing and talking about how bad their day was. One of the teachers, Miss Jones, looked at our protagonist and said, "You're new here, aren't you? Don't listen to us. We're just old and grumpy. Teaching isn't that bad." Our protagonist forced a smile and thanked her for the advice. She knew that they were only trying to be nice, but she couldn't help but feel like they were being condescending. She went home that night and stayed up late on the internet looking for other teaching jobs. She was getting really desperate and was willing to take whatever job she could get. The next day at school, our protagonist was feeling anxious and nervous. She couldn't focus on teaching, and her students could tell that she wasn't herself. Peter approached her after class again and asked her if she needed help. She appreciated his concern, but she still refused to let him help her. She didn't want to be a burden to him or any of her other students. After school, our protagonist went to the principal's office to resign. Mrs. Smith was shocked and saddened to hear that she was resigning. She asked her why she wanted to leave, but she refused to say anything. She just handed in her resignation letter and walked out of the office. As she was walking down the hallway, she saw Peter waiting outside of her classroom. He had a worried expression on his face. He stopped her and asked her why she was leaving. She was taken aback by his question. She hadn't expected him to care so much. She tried to lie and say that it was because of family issues, but Peter didn't buy it. He told her that he had noticed that she had been acting strange lately, and that he was worried about her. Our protagonist broke down and started crying. She told Peter everything that had been going on. She told him about the gossip, the lack of support, and how she had been feeling unappreciated. Peter listened patiently, and when she was done, he hugged her. He told her that she was a great teacher and that she would be missed. He said that she shouldn't quit because of a few bad apples. His words gave our protagonist hope. Maybe she was overreacting. Maybe she should try to fix the situation instead of running away from it. She thanked Peter for his kindness and told him that she had decided to stay at the school. She owed it to her students to give them the best education possible. She knew that she couldn't let her colleagues or the gossip get to her. The next day, our protagonist was back in the staff room. She was feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. She greeted her colleagues with a smile, and they returned it. No one mentioned the previous day's events, and our protagonist was grateful for that. She knew that she had to move on and focus on her students. As the year went on, our protagonist became even more passionate about her job. She threw herself into teaching and made sure that her students were learning. She knew that this was what mattered most. The gossip and the negativity didn't bother her anymore. She had Peter and her other students to keep her going. One day, our protagonist was in her classroom when she heard a knock on the door. She opened the door to find Mrs. Smith standing there. The principal looked serious, and our protagonist's heart sank. She had a bad feeling about this. Mrs. Smith asked her if she could come in and sit down. Our protagonist nodded and closed the door behind her. Mrs. Smith explained that she had called her into the office to apologize. She said that she was sorry for not listening to her concerns earlier in the year. She admitted that she had made a mistake by not hiring more teachers. She explained that the school had been understaffed for a long time, and that she had been trying to make do with what she had. She said that she understood now that she had pushed her staff too hard, and that she was sorry. Our protagonist was shocked. She had never imagined that the principal would apologize to her. She said that she understood and that she didn't hold any grudges. Mrs. Smith smiled and thanked her. She said that she was relieved that she had stayed at the school and that she looked forward to working with her in the future. Our protagonist left the office feeling happy. She had never felt closer to her principal, and she knew that they would work well together. From that day on, the school made sure to listen to their staff's concerns. They hired more teachers and made sure that everyone was supported. Our protagonist continued to teach at the school for many years to come. She loved her job and knew that she was making a difference in her students' lives. The gossip and the negativity didn't bother her anymore. She had her students and her colleagues to keep her going, and she knew that she was part of something special. This story teaches us that no matter how difficult the situation may seem, we should never give up. With hard work and determination, we can achieve anything. We should never let others bring us down, and we should always strive to be the best that we can be. All right, friends, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. We would also appreciate if you could subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.